Have you forgot your star actor?
Is he orange?
He is orange. So are you.
Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a first impressions on some makeup brushes, which I've never done before, so I'm not sure how this is going to go, how it's going to work. You may never see this, who knows, but my only January sale purchase this year was actually some makeup brushes, and the ones that I wanted for Christmas and didn't get, and I was like, I'm going to purchase them myself, and they were in the sale, so I thought, there we go. And it's actually the Spectrum Zodiac collection, so it's an 8 brush collection, and it comes with like a beautiful pouch that corresponds with like your signs. I'm a water sign, this is me up here, Scorpio. And yeah, it comes with the pouch, it's very velvety, it's like a, you can use it as like a clutchy bag type thing, and then it comes with all of the brushes individually wrapped in here. I've never used any brushes from Spectrum before. I am basically very much a Real Techniques brush kind of a gal, or Eco Tools. Those two are like generally what I use. Put that down, that's going to be noisy. So I thought what I would do is I would do half a face using what I would normally wear or using what I would normally use, and then the other half of the face using exactly the same products but using the brushes how they are supposed to be used. And we'll see how it goes. So yeah, if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos every Tuesday and Friday. And without further ado, let's start using these brushes because I'm very excited. Okay, so I'm just going to talk through what you get in here first. So I think this is usually like $49.99 and I got it for $39.99 in the sale. And yeah, it is their Zodiac collection. So if you don't know Spectrum, they do loads of different collections, including the Disney one, which there's so many things in there that I want to get my hands on. I tell you, as soon as they come out for Beauty and the Beast one, done, snapped up. I don't care if I have to use my credit card, it's happening. But yes, so you get this pouch, and then inside, put the pouch down, you have 8 brushes, and they're all like numbered. Yeah, so we have 8 brushes, variety of things from like face brushes to eye brushes, so it's meant to kind of be everything you might need for like a basic kit. But in terms of like the design of these brushes, they are, you can see from this one here if I get it out, they have a matte black kind of length, a shiny gold top with black synthetic bristles. They're very soft, and then they're kind of decorated with the stars because obviously Zodiac collection stars. That wrapping's going to be so noisy. But yeah, so that is what we're going to do. We're going to try these out, we're going to see what they're like, and yeah. Okay, let's see how ridiculous I look. Not overly ridiculous, just a little bit. It's fine, we can work with that. And yes, I'm still using my Anthropologie Christmas mug because it's all cozy and it's gold today. Okay, so I already have primer on, but we are going to do the foundation, so I'm just going to use my It Cosmetics CC cream, and what I would usually use is one of the Eco Tool sponges. Yes, this is disgusting, I'm getting a new one today. Please excuse the disgustingness of it. But yes, usually I would use a sponge. I love this sponge, it's amazing. However, from the Spectrum collection, we have the A00, which is the, nope, wrong brush. This is already off to a good start. Okay, so yeah, so the one that you use for your foundation is the angled foundation brush, which is the A02. I haven't used a brush to apply my base in a very long time, so I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this. But it also says that because it's angled, it's made to kind of really get into like every part of your face, and you just buff it in with a brush buffing motion. And when I was looking at the description, it also said it doesn't absorb as much, or gives you more coverage than a buffing brush. So we will see. Let's put some product on the back of my face. I need a new one of these too. Like, this is very, very well loved. Okay, so I'm going to start with my spongy side first, my normal side. I have to keep remembering what side is my normal side. So one of the reasons I love using a sponge is because it just gives a really good coverage, because the sponge doesn't tend to absorb a lot of the product, so most of the product is going on your face. But also it just gives a really flawless finish as well. You don't get any like brush strokes, and it's just super easy to apply. Okay, so that side is done. So we are now going to take the angled foundation brush, dip that in some product and buff it in. I'm not seeing like any brush marks yet, which is good. Like that's obviously like was one of my main concerns. I do feel like this will also be really good for like blending in like cream contour. I don't think it's giving as much coverage as my sponge, especially on my cheek here. This part is definitely looking a lot redder than this part still. So I feel like that will need like some extra work. But it's not terrible, it's not bad. Like it's not as bad as others that I have used. I do kind of find this is working a little bit better for me in a bit more of like a stippling motion rather than a buffing motion. I feel like I'm getting more coverage that way. And you know what, it is looking very similar to the side with the sponge. So, okay, prefer it in a stippling motion. And like you can't really see how much any product left on the brush, so I like that as well actually. It doesn't seem to be like absorbing much of the product down. Okay, so the A02, I like it. That's good so far. I'm also going to use it to do some cream contour and blend that in as well and see how that works, but so far that one worked really well. I do like that one. Okay, so next up is concealer. So they do have a concealer brush, which I believe is this one, the A18. Yeah, so this is the oval concealer brush. However, when I was watching the videos, this was actually being used to apply concealer to the lids as a primer instead of under the eyes. So that's what I'm going to use it for. I am going to try and blend in a little concealer under my eyes with this as well, just because I want to see. But yeah, we'll have a play, we'll see what we think. Again, usually with concealer I do just blend it in with my sponge. So I'm just taking the Bourjois Radiance Reveal Concealer, which is my fave. I love this sponge because where it's got like the slant bit you can really get in under the eye. It just does that so well. So let's see what this is like under. It's not bad. I wouldn't say it's blending into the foundation as well as it does with a sponge. Yeah, I wouldn't use that for under the eyes, I'm not a fan of that. But let's try the whole lid thing, see what we feel like about that. And there's not a huge difference. I wouldn't say you need a brush for this. So at the moment this one's kind of a little bit surplus, but the other thing that they did use it for on their website was to press in like loose pigments and just to kind of, I feel like it could be good to like push in some like loose pigments or like really metallic shadows. So I might bring this back in a bit later when I'm doing my eyes to see if it's quite good as like a base shadow brush. So stay tuned for that one, it may still have its use. Cream contour. Okay, so I'm just going to do cream contour, so we're going to bring back that one. Like that one, like you know which one I'm talking about. The A02, which we did our foundation with. So I'm just going to draw this on. This is just the Rimmel Insta Duo stick. I don't use the highlighter on it because I don't like it. It's just really quick and easy to do and it blends it really seamlessly. But let's try the A02. Buffing as it does on the video. Also does a good job. And with this it's nice where you've got that angle, it does get under that cheekbone really nicely, which you can't really do with a sponge, so I do actually, I feel like I am preferring that for that part of my face. I feel like that is going in a lot nicer than a sponge. Okay, the A02 I think we can say is a hit. I do like the A02, which is the angled foundation brush. I like how it applied my base. There was no like brush marks on it. It was applied very, very similarly to a sponge, which is nice. There was no loose brushes, and then I really liked it to blend that cream contour as well. I preferred it because of how it got where it can get into like under the cheekbones. So the A02 I do really like, that's a good one. Okay, so the next brush on the list is the A00, which is the Luxe powder brush. So it just has this domed top to it here, which is meant to help with application, and it's just a big brush. It's not as big and fluffy as I usually use for my powder, but again, I've been using my sponge more for powder than anything. So there is this one, but there is also the B08, which is a highlighting and setting brush. So I feel like this would be for under the eyes, and then the big one would be for the rest of the face. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm just taking my Body Shop powder, roll it in the lid. I'm just doing what I would normally do at this point on this face, so using my sponge. So on the other side, oh, let go. So we're going to take the B08, this one is, isn't it? Yeah, the B08. Pop some powder on that, and we're going to use that to set. Okay, that's set better than my sponge. New way to apply powder under my eyes. Okay, I like that one a lot. And then we're going to take the A00, the Luxe powder brush, dab that up with powder, and we're just going to stamp that on the rest of the face. Okay, yeah, this side of my face looks a lot more set than this side of my face. New way to apply powder, love it. I really like both of those, so yeah, that's a hit. We like those. Okay, so for bronze, I'm going to attempt to use the Luxe powder brush again, just because I feel like this could be good for bronzer. It's not meant, doesn't say it's for bronzer, but it could work really well. So I'm just going to apply bronzer to this side of my face like I would normally. So I'm just using my L'Oreal Back to Bronze bronzer, and this is just the Real Techniques big powder brush, like it's huge, I love it. So that's normal. And then I'm just going to take the Luxe powder brush, so the A00. I feel like I'm not getting much bronze on the brush, but definitely more like localised than the big fluffy brush that I usually use. But I do feel like not as much colour is coming off. So I think I still prefer my big fluffy brush for bronzer. I'm not sure I like that one as much. So you win some, you lose some. But I do love it for applying powder, like I say, in my face. That was revolutionary. Love it. Okay, so for blush, there is the Angled Blush and Contour Brush. So this is the A05. So you have a bit of an angle to the fluffy brush at the top, which is meant to be very good for A, contour, and B, blush. So we're going to give that a go for blush. Don't really contour apart from like the cream contour. So I'm just taking the L'Oreal Life's a Peach blush, my normal Real Techniques blush brush. It makes it very nice and subtle. I like it. It works very nicely as a blush brush. That should do. So I'm just going to swirl the brush in here. I don't like it as much. Nope. I need to use another blush brush. I just feel like it's not really doing much. It might be good for contour, but for blush, not a fan. So I'll stick to my Real Techniques blush brush for that one. And then highlights. We're going to go back to our B08. So this is the Magic Wand highlighting and setting brush. Highlight. There we go. Normal way to highlight first, Lisa. Usually I use a bigger brush. I usually use this blush from Real Techniques. It's one of their powder blue ones. It's the B02. I'm just going to take one of the Soft highlighters. So it'll be interesting to see how I find a smaller brush, I think. And then whichever one I prefer, I'll do like my nose. Cupid's bow with. So yeah, we're just taking that smaller one. Same one. Also it works really, really nicely. you have a lot more control over the small brush, so which is nice. It's definitely easier to do the nose with, I think. Yes. Okay, I like it. I like that too. I like both of them. I think we're going to play around with that one a bit more for highlights, see how I find it in different lights and like on the face properly. But we will see. So far, I like it. Moving on to eyes. So I've got the Untitled Chapter palette, which I'm going to use today. And this is one of the reasons I really wanted this palette for this set for these two brushes. So we have the B07, which is kind of like a fluffy crease brush, and then we have a fluffy pencil brush, which I don't have in my collection, which is the A12. So I'm very excited to use these. Normally I basically just use my Real Techniques fluffy crease brush. This is the B08 from the Powder Blue collection, which you can see is a lot bigger, so it doesn't quite get as concentrated, which I really want. And also I tend to use the shading brush from Real Techniques as well. You can see it's not great there, so I'm going to use these two versus like those. And yeah, it's going to be fun. So I'm not going to do anything huge today. I'm just going to take Breakaway, which is the lightest shade, and just use that to set the eyes, or the eye. And then Weekender, which is this kind of transition-y shade here. But this is where, like, if I was then to go into Riff, which is what I'm doing now, which is a bit darker, that's where I would want something a little bit more concentrated, and I feel like this is where that other brush is going to come into it. And then, because I also kind of want to use some more of like, I think Good Is Gone or Punk. What is the difference between the two of those? Oh, I'm going to go for Good Is Gone. I think Good Is Gone has got like some more shimmer to it. I'm just going to kind of put that as well. And again, this is where something that's a little bit smaller would come in handy, because it's not going to be as like blown out and smoky as this. It's going to be a little bit more concentrated. And then I take something like Riff and with this shader brush and smooth that out under the eye. And maybe, which one should I use? Good Is Gone. Just like in the corner there, just to kind of bring it all together. And that's kind of what I would do. So I'm going to still use the big fluffy brush to do Breakaway and Weekender. So I'm going to take the fluffy one and we're going to go into Riff. I feel it's a little bit too concentrated for Riff actually. Let's stick with the big fluffy one. Okay, so this is going into Good Is Gone. I don't know, I feel like it's a little bit messy. I like it, but I think I'm used to this one. So I think I'm just going to play around with that a bit more and find out how I want to use it. And then I'm going to take that pencil brush and just use Riff. Okay, this one I like. This one, that's so much easier to use under the eyes. Yeah, okay, I like the pencil brush. The other one I'm not 100% on yet. We will kind of see the more I use it and play with it. But I definitely feel like this eye is a lot neater than this one, which is annoying. So, okay, so I can do the rest of my makeup and then we'll finish up. Okay, so let's talk about the brushes. There is one I didn't use, which was the brow one. I don't do anything with my brows, so I didn't use it. But I might use it to do some like tight liner stuff in the future. But yeah, I haven't used that one yet. But the other 7, let's talk through them. Okay, so the ones I liked. I did like the angled foundation brush, the A02. That surprised me. I did really like it, and I also really did like it to blend out my cream contour as well. So that one I liked a lot and I will definitely be using more of. The powder brush, again, I really liked that for setting my face with a powder, not so much for applying bronzer, but powder application. I love how my face looks on this side of how that's set. It looks so flawless, so I really, really like that. The magic wand. So this is for highlight and also setting. I loved how it set under my eye, like stunning, so flawless. Why haven't I been doing that before? Really nice. And I do like how I did my highlighter. I'm going to play around a bit more with highlighter and see which one I do prefer. So I liked it definitely for my nose and my cupid's bow. I feel like it applied it a lot easier than the bigger brush. But for the cheeks, again, like I said, I'm going to play around with it a bit more, see how I feel. But for setting, this was beautiful. And the pencil, the eye pencil brush, this is the A12. I really like that for under my eye. It was so much easier to do all of that and to just kind of like do a little bit of detail in that corner there to tidy everything up. So I do really like that one. That one's good. The 3 I'm kind of not sure about it right now. This is the A025, which is the angled blush and contour brush. Didn't like it for blush. I don't really do contour, so I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to use this yet, but I'll still play around with it and let you know. But that one I'm not too fussed about. The A18, which is the oval concealer brush. I wouldn't use it for my concealer. It applied like the concealer on my lid quite nicely. Like that was quite fun, so I would potentially use this for something like a cut crease. Or putting primer on my lids, so I think for that it would be useful, but for actually concealing under the eyes, wasn't that fussed about it. And then the B07, which is one I was really excited about. A bit disappointed in this so far, but I feel like maybe it wasn't for the type of look I was doing today. If I was doing something that's a little bit more detailed, then maybe this would be really, really good. But again, I'm going to keep playing around with it and see how I feel. But yes, that is it. Overall, there are some good things in here, and there are some other things that I'm still going to play around with and see how I feel. But I don't feel like it's looking too bad on this side of my face. So yeah, I think it was a success for a lot of it, which is good. So yeah, if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let me know if there's which brushes of these you'd like to try, what your favourite is if you've used them before. And yeah, I will see you all very soon. Bye.